we hit 100% of our episodes. We just get rid of all the bad shit, right? We're amazing.
There you go. That looks right. I think we're live. We are live.
Oh yeah, there he is. Got me again.
Live from the Man Cave. So, Live from the Man Cave, we are normally a podcast. Check us out on any podcast app. Live from the Man Cave. We got three little exclamation points off of that after that in the title. Yep, and you can look out for Craig Mack, who is my co-host, and me, Serious Jest. And what we do normally is talk shit about everything pop culture on that podcast. We also do movie and TV reviews and coming soon video game reviews whenever Craig starts doing them, putting them on the spot. But for this special series, we do, it's called Ready Player 2, and we basically play video games together. So I'm going to keep playing Life is Strange 2. We are about to jump on episode 3. If you're joining us live, cool. Thank you. Glad to have you. We'll try to, if you've got any questions, ask in the chat. If you're watching this after the fact, I would say don't be a psycho if you haven't seen the previous episodes. Go back and listen to 1 and 2. And also the Amazing Adventures of Captain Spirit, which is the little side story to this. They're all on the same playlist. So let's get into episode 3. And one more thing to take care of before we do that is beer, the show. Yes. So we like to drink while we play video games. We like to talk about what we're drinking a little bit and give you all some tips. Maybe you get some good recommendations from us and find a beer you love. All right. So we sometimes use an app called Tavour. We're not advertising for them. Like, they don't pay us for advertising anyway. We just recommend it because we like it. It basically, you put your zip code in the app and it gives you access to beers that you can't find in your area, and they get shipped to you. All right, so the one I have today is from that app. It's not from my area. It's from it's from Main and Mill Brewing Company in, it's a weird location, Unit D, Huntingdon Valley. I don't know what the fuck that means. That's really weird.
That's a wild
Unit
name.
D, Huntingdon Valley, but it kind of makes sense with the title. I mean, with the picture that's on the can. Right, and actually, it was weird. It's listed on Tavour as Huntingdon Valley, but okay, now I'm confused because I got this from Tavour. It's supposed to be hard. Maybe it is hard to get. Anyway, this comes from, I guess, Missouri, so it is hard to get. Main and Mill Brewing Company and Barrel Works.
It's M-I-L-L?
Mill, yeah, Main and Mill, M-I-L-L, and it's in Festus, Missouri. But what threw me off was that the artist they use for this is an artist out of Long Island named Andrew Cranky. So they gave this is the artist series. So their can, Andrew Cranky, Krahnke.
Oh, nice.
And he's out of Long Island.
Sounds like he should be on our show.
yeah. He's out of Long Island, New York. This is a table pilsner, is what it's called. It's got a very low alcohol content, 3.5% alcohol. So this is very sessionable, supposed to be. Again, a pilsner style. It's really cool. And it's called Amity in Shock. And so it shows this dude getting eaten by a great white in what looks like a Long Island Sound type of deal with a helicopter overhead. It's pretty cool. Look it up if you get the chance.
Cool.
Amity in Shock. So really quick, the tasting notes that they say on Tavour, they say the brewers used a combo of Pilsen and Munich malts for notes of honeyed biscuits and aromas of fresh bread. Then they added a careful dose of Contessa hops, creating delicate flavors of green tea, softly floral notes, and even a touch of pear. So this is this is not going to get me drunk. This is basically just for a pleasant taste. So you can hear that can get popped open. I'm going to pour it, and while I'm pouring it, let's just save a little time, Craig, if you want to start talking about what you picked, and then I'll tell you how mine tastes.
Perfect. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. So I'll first start out by saying this is episode 3, right? That we're into now, or episode 3.
Episode 3.
Yeah.
Life is Strange.
So we did last time. You did episode 2, part C. And I heard you had somebody on that show, but I'm not sure who that was.
Hey, Craig Mack, last night you took a L, awesome. But today you'll bounce back.
Yeah, that guy sounded hilarious. So, so the most important thing is that I am still slightly recovering from that night. That's how old I am right now.
Holy shit.
So So I am like, you know what? I don't mean like I feel like shit still. I just mean like, you know, when you're like, I don't need to. Maybe I'm just gonna chill for a little bit. I'm just slow my roll for a little bit. So today I decided to also go very low like you, and I went with mine is it's Gold Emblem, and it is pineapple coconut sweetened sparkling water. So
you asshole!
That's what I'm really doing tonight, because Craig Mack was like, "Damn, dude! Like, it's one thing. Look, I've ended some of these shows. Not my best. That's fine. I'm okay with admitting it. I have rarely started some of these, not the best. And that one was a night where I remember we talked about it up front. Like, I straight up had, like, we had gone out to dinner and I had like a 11%, like it was delicious. And I mean, I was obviously fine, everything at that point. But then now fast forward 4 hours later, and, you know, I'm like, let me do this 13.5%, like, to get started, and then it took us about maybe 15 minutes to get set up. So I was like, well, I'm going to grab a little bit of the beer while I'm getting ready. So I came into it, and I was already like, man, a little bit on the more of the Mac and less of the Craig. So this time I'm going to just chill out and enjoy it, and actually get caught up on what the fuck happened last time, and then we'll go from there.
But the little one,
so that's where I am today, bud.
Using his power.
Pop this open.
They decided to journey
that pop? Delicious.
to the home of their nearby
I
ancestors.
bet. I was on mute trying to just recap you that at the end of the last one,
Yes.
the brothers were on a lumber train,
to the home of their ancestors.
and you know, trying to make it to Puerto Lobos.
Invited them to stay.
And I like how they're going back to the well with this wolf story. So even if you come in fresh off of episode 3, you're kind of getting the gist of the story. They found their ancestors, meaning their grandparents, on the way, but then bad shit happened, and now they're on their way to Puerto Lobos.
Yep. So that was one of my favorite things in the way that they told the story was the kind of we're big fans. We've talked about it on any of these types of games when they do it like previously on, kind of like TV show style, and they do it in even a better way because, like you said, they really stuck the landing on this this kind of illusion, this story, the metaphor of the two wolves, right? And have everything that happened in that episode, but tell this little kind of, like, as you see this motion graphic comic looking thing of it being, you know, looking like a telling the story of what happened. I think they really killed it. I mean, it's a very cool way to get you up to speed, and not just so like, you know, we've all seen Game of Thrones where they're like, hey, look at this, and we're going to show you clips. It's fine, but it's clips of the show. This is way cooler, where it's kind of a remixed version of what happened.
Yeah, and by the way, I really like how they made Captain Spirit in their story a raccoon.
Mm-hmm. Very cool, yes.
They're picking different spirit animals.
Yep. They do a good job with that stuff. I like it. Oh, man. So now,
I like this little music that they got.
Yep.
And focusing on the bedroom.
They do a lot of good ambient like moments like this where they kind of show you, you know, leading into where they currently are, and they did this before when he first woke up at the grandparents' house, and they kind of panned around the moon and played that cool music as you're kind of learning and figuring out what's going on. And you know, the fact the way they keep doing it is very cool.
By the way, I'm enjoying this beer. So it had a nice, light, crisp, refreshing like smell. You could smell the hops, definitely. Almost IPA hoppy, which was a little surprising for such like a low alcohol content beer. But not the heaviness of the IPA or the pungentness, right? So I took a few sips. You can definitely taste the hops against like the lighter. So it's almost like a floral, lighter smell or taste, fighting with some very present hops. I wouldn't guess this was only 3.5% ABV. Like if you had asked me, I wouldn't have put that down there.
Really?
I would have said higher.
That's cool. I mean, that's the best, right? When they can do that. I mean, give you all the flavor, but still allow it to be something low. You know, like if you're in the mood to have a couple of them, you don't always need it to be 8-9%, right?
Yep.
If they can nail the flavor, then why not?
And because this is like a table pilsner, I think I'm going to start out by saying it's a 3, like a strong 3, right? That means I like it. Definitely happy I drank it. I'm not sure if you need to taste this.
Daniel,
Uh-oh.
get your ass over here now.
Fucking Daniel.
Look at this little creep.
What the fuck is he doing? All right. This is 3 months before. Okay, so we go back to when I was being an asshole to him.
Yep. So, by the way, what are your little shit is great. I love that he's such a dick.
I've got phone and party bills now.
Do you like Pilsners in general? Are you?
Yeah, they're cool. Like they're not like, I prefer the stouts and bourbon barrel aged and stuff. But the Pilsner's a great way to like sit down and enjoy, like just a nice solid beer. I like the kid. Was he going for the unlimited gameplay? Is that what one? Yeah, so I enjoy them. They're not like the thing about Pilsners is that it's hard to distinguish yourself. I think a little bit.
Yeah,
as a Pilsner, they're very they're usually consistent type of taste.
Yeah, it's not the kind of thing where you're going to be like, hey, this is our like coconut peanut butter Pilsner, right?
Exactly.
So it's like they kind of have a lane that they sit in, which is, I mean, especially this time of year, it's perfect, right? If you want to sit outside on the deck, or go play some like cornhole, in the summertime, you'd want to do that with a nice crisp Pilsner.
Yep.
Because it's like they're actually refreshing as opposed to kind of wiping you out. They like feel, you feel like you're just. It's like having a nice glass of lemonade as a kid. It's the adult version of that, which is I'm not necessarily a huge fan of Pilsners like in November, December, January. When it's cold out. But this time of year, man, I get me a good, solid like Sunshine Pils, Prima Pils, that kind of stuff. They're fucking great.
This actually has the potential to go up to a 4 because it's pretty solid, but right now, if I'm being conservative, it's a 3.
That's cool. No, I mean even that alone means a lot coming from you or I, right? Because we've been pretty clear that we're a big fan of the kind of heavier shit with a lot of flavors going on and a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes after the first sip. So for a Pilsner to be even in that game where it could creep up, that means it's doing what it needs to do and it's doing it well.
It's unfair to the Pilsners, really, if you think about it, right? Because it's a type of beer that's getting excluded because the type of beer it is, but they really are like, I don't know, like they are really good in their own right. That you just have to. It's just tough when you compare them to, like you said, the other beers where you could do a lot more other shit with. So,
right. Well, it's funny too because I talk with a bunch of obviously I have the Broken Goblet guys and some friends of mine that work at breweries and things like that, and you have a lot of like brewers that are really big into lagers and Pilsners because they feel like that's the traditional, if you can make those well, then you know how to make beer well. Anyone can cover up a lot of shit with like a bourbon barrel age this, with like a peanut butter that, and because your beer can be good, but then you throw enough shit in it to make it great. Whereas like a Pilsner and a lager, you don't have a lot of that like cover space. Like you're not getting air coverage to kind of fuck up underneath and then be like, we'll work it out when we throw in all the adjuncts and all the bullshit on the back end. So a lot of those guys are actually like super proud when they can crush their Pilsner or their lager because they know that means like we actually fucking made it. Like we know how to make a good beer with this. So it's interesting to see, the dichotomy as fans move more towards extra hoppy shit or double bourbon barrel that, and guys who like are brewers are like, fuck, I'll make that shit because you guys like it. But in reality, I wish, our number one seller was our Pilsner or our lager or whatever.
That's funny you say that. Like, that's a really interesting observation because, like, if you talk to, like, these people from, like, Germany, right, who, like, they swear, like, oh, German beer is the best beer in the world. And then you're like, and we're like, no, fuck that. American craft beer is amazing. It's better than your shit. Then they go, that's not beer. And they get all fucking offended. Like, I literally had an argument with a dude about that, like, in a Discord chat over that.
Right. That sounds about right.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's an interesting perspective. But I don't know. I really love what America has done with the craft industry.
Absolutely. I think even as you and I have kind of made the turn, we were like big hopheads, and we've kind of moved a little bit away from a lot of that. And I can still appreciate one, but if I had to choose, I'd rather go towards some of the darker stuff. There's like room for everything, right? And it's kind of interesting to see the place that America has taken the ball and kind of run with it, and then the places that like a Belgian ale is still one of my favorite beers in the entire world, and like these are ones that there's like there's like 4 or 5 different real variations, but I mean you can do the golden ales, you can make the triples and doubles and that kind of stuff, but you're not getting crazy with throwing all the shit into it. So it's like you can do it if you do it and you know what you're doing and you do it well. And on the other hand, some places won't even try them because they know that's not our specialty, right? We're going to make it, and it's just going to be a run-of-the-mill. People will be like, "Oh, this tastes like fucking Yingling. I don't fucking want this." So what do? They go and make their lactose IPAs, milkshake IPAs, and all that stuff because that stuff they know we can do that because we can cover it up on the back end once we get into the like double fermentation or the throwing in the extra shit on the back end. So it's kind of there's a place for everything is what we learned every day on here, and it's kind of cool that you went with one of those today.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying it though, man. It's really like I want to give it a 4. I'm just like, it's good, it's solid, but I don't want to just give a 4 because it's really solid. You know what I mean? Like it's there's other ones that are really solid like this too.
Right.
But, so who this is the neighbor? I know it was late. Saturday we were having. You could have asked me to turn the music down.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
So it looks like this neighbor. I'm looking at this letter from the neighbor, which is ironic, right? So apparently the father called the cops on the neighbor the previous week. It's probably the father of that little shitty kid.
Yeah, the asshole. Yes. I think it's almost certainly supposed to imply that guy has been a dick from the beginning.
But he can't bug me all the time.
Well, how ironic! The father felt comfortable calling the police because a lot of black and brown people don't feel comfortable calling the police. You know what I mean? Right. And then this motherfucker comes and shot him. So, like, this latest instance could have happened any of those times.
Right.
Uh-oh. I heard this little fucker over here making noise.
What do you think about the whole kind of, like, 3 months earlier type, flashback moment?
It's cool because everything has been so much on the run and depressing.
Right.
It'd be cool, especially because I like the father's character and everything, so...
Sorry, Andrew. I'm the free babysitter.
We get the I'm the free babysitter now. We get the benefit as people who watch these programs when somebody passes away in them, when a character passes away in them, we get the benefit of when we get flashback scenes. We get to see those characters again that we loved, right?
Yes. Yep.
And the actors in real life are normally available, or in video games you just recreate the character or whatever. And in real life you always wish you could relive those moments when somebody's gone.
100%. Yes, that's quite possibly one of my favorite things in most shows is like, you go back and like a show like Lost, right? I mean, speaking of flashbacks, when they would do stuff like, one of my favorite characters is John Locke, and that dude straight up just like, spoiler alert, like for anyone who hasn't seen that fucking show, but that dude goes and hangs himself, and then you get an opportunity to see him again for a pretty substantial amount of time of the show, right? Until you finally find out that maybe it wasn't him the whole time or whatever. But it's a cool way to allow you to relive those moments, like you said, that you don't get to do in real life.
You started it, dickhead.
So he got garage sale. He broke his dead.
You proud of yourself?
Stop it.
Enough. Getting tired of this. Sean, what happened?
There's the dad speaking of the devil.
Now.
Yeah.
Dad, I told him not to come into my room. He never listens.
He hit me and broke the trophy.
He's lying. He always does that when he gets busted. Little shit. Enough. You both better listen because I'm tired of this crap. Okay? This is my house too, not your playground. You hear me? Jeez.
Man,
you guys are working my last nerve this week.
Yeah, I mean...
Okay, mijo.
How many we've talked about this shit as families with brothers, right? Who
bedroom?
How much this shit resonates as like a I remember this.
Oh yeah.
How many times you fucking get somebody's being a dick,
stupid,
but it ends up breaking something or causing some bigger issue that you're like,
okay.
You came into my room.
Really taught that book a lesson.
Exactly.
You done?
Whatever. Like you're gonna believe me. Daniel's always right.
But yeah, it is also cool because, like you said, it's been so shitty for so long. Being able to see them actually have like a regular kid, like even seeing him acting like a kid again, like it's fucking bullshit. He jumps on his bed and whatever, and you're like, yeah, no. In the real game right now, he has to basically be like a father figure, right? But right now, he just gets to be the like, why is he trying to destroy my life? And you're like, that's right. It was only a couple months ago that he was just a fucking regular teenager that just wanted to kind of, do his own thing. And now he has to care for this little kid that he just called you little shit,
The other thing, too, that this kind of brings up to me, like, as I'm watching this happen.
I know that. And I do look out for him.
Sorry, I had to make a choice. when somebody passes away, you often like fantasize about like you almost what do you do? What's the right word? You look back at the time before they passed away or before some big event happened, and you're like, you romanticize it. That's the word.
Yeah.
You look at it, and you're like, oh, times were so great then, and then so now like you get the chance to actually look back and see like, yo, well, shit wasn't all roses all the time. It was tough on his dad. You know.
Just try to be there for him, like you are now.
Yeah, I mean, part of the way human beings are built is to forget, right? We're built to forget most of the shitty things so that we can go on and focus on the positive, right? And so, like you said, this whole idea of being able to, sometimes it's positive though, to remember that things weren't perfect, right? Because you don't want to live in this perpetual state of like, oh, things were always better in the old days, right? That's kind of how Make America Great Again bullshit starts, right? It's like we only focus on the positives and forget about how shitty things were. But a lot of times you need that, because without that, it makes it harder to move on, right? If you're only living in this like kind of horrible spiral of how terrible things were. So having these moments of seeing things, plus it's always cool when a show or a game or something like this is able to say, hey, what if we showed you this one moment that really, like, at the time seemed kind of inconsequential, but in reality is very important to the kind of growth and development of this character. You know what I mean? So it's always great when Lost did that shit all the time, right? Like, let's flash back to this stupid argument they had, but lo and behold, that argument becomes super important like 3 years later in this current storyline. It's like, good storytellers know how to do that, you know, like they know how to bring you back and see a good, cool moment of a character that you care about, but also have it somehow connect to what's currently happening in the timeline.
Absolutely. Have you been watching Stranger Things? That you get to, because there is a part where they talk about, you know, the human, like the built-in human need to, you know, to forget, or ability to forget in order to help as a coping mechanism.
Right. I am watching it, but I think we're like halfway through the 3rd episode, so I'm not caught up. But I don't remember seeing that part, so it might be past where I am. But yeah, I think I like anytime things deal with that, just because it is so important, and a lot of times people feel like that you know, like the biggest fear is when we've always heard it, and it like brings it can immediately make you start crying, right? It's like in a movie when people are like, oh my god, I think I'm starting to forget insert person's here face, you know what I mean? Like there's always that moment in a movie or a TV show where they're like, I can't even remember what he looks like anymore or what she looks like anymore, and it's like heartbreaking, because they're like, now all I have are snapshots, not movies, right? I don't remember things as videos, I just remember things as a snapshot in time. Like I remember when he would come down the stairs on Christmas morning or whatever, but nothing around it, right? It's these kind of, but the reasoning for that is, like you said, the whole idea is if we constantly lived in that moment of memory through as movie, we'd never be able to move on. We'd never be able to progress past it, because we'd always be living in this past that we can never get back to. And so the brain has to at some point start to carve out the shit that is no longer beneficial to us and bring us into this kind of like moment of like, yeah, I have memories, but they're like fading, and the things that are always super important will be there for you. But they start to, even those things can start to become, you know, filtered in and out on what's actually how things went and not, you know.
He was so happy.
I think they do a good job in this of talking about that.
Yeah, and the other thing that's actually pretty cool is watching the contrast, like going back in time and seeing when Daniel was the big brother, much bigger than him, and I mean, not Daniel, Sean was a big brother, and Daniel was the you know, a lot less powerful than him. And so, you know, Daniel could, like, Sean could do things like give him a noogie. And now how quickly things has changed, right? Like, I don't think he could pull that on Daniel anymore.
No, I do not think he would want to even try that. That would be a bad move.
Got him for you shooting
at
that freaking target.
That's a big part of it too, right? You know, growing up as a brother or a dad, you know, and it's like, I used to be able to destroy you in basketball, and now all of a sudden one day my son can beat me type thing, you know, or I used to be able to kind of shove my little brother around, no problem, and now he's grown up and he's, you know, half an inch shorter than me, but he can you know, he can
Sean,
fight me off. It's like this moment of,
That's
I don't want to
cool.
say it's like mortality per se, but it's
Careful.
recognizing our
problem.
place in life, that we don't,
You're Mr. Careful.
you know, we don't stay in this forever. We don't stay in that moment forever
Okay, if
where
I
we
sit
will
down.
always be, you know, always be bigger, stronger, better, whatever. Like eventually things catch up, and we have to learn how to deal with that.
Which is why parents,
So-
like, I definitely don't think parents should
get
rely on, you know, like those parents that rely on being bigger, more
Dad
powerful, all
said
that
I
stuff.
should
That shit
learn to
ruling
do
by
stuff
fear as a
by
parent,
myself.
puts you in a bad position. Because when the kid gets old enough, he can basically take all the shit you told him. If he doesn't respect you, just throw the
It's
shit
not like
away.
I'm leaving home.
Right.
You might as
So you got to
well.
inspire respect. I think when you have that
Never
power
see
and then choose not to use it or
Don't
be
even
very
play games
judicious,
anymore.
you know, about your
Don't
use of
do
it, so they can
anything.
remember how you were
Daniel,
when shit was like
I
that.
just
Right. I didn't.
I want to hang out
Not
with
to
my friends.
to bring too much stuff up,
sometimes.
but I know you've talked
We're
about
gonna
that
be doing
personally,
the
right?
same
Like your
thing in a
relationship
couple
with
of
your dad,
years.
and like that idea of trying to
wanna
always
grow
be
up.
like I can always
Born.
muscle you around, and I'll always be bigger and badder and better and whatever than you. Then all you're doing is literally tempting that person to the moment they can fight back, they're going to want to show you that they can, right?
And not
Whereas
only
if
that,
you-
like I don't give a fuck about what you're saying anymore because you no longer have power over me.
Stupid
right,
watch.
because you
But-
can't
It's like
inflict
you
it
did
upon
me
me. You just
At the thrift store
you know,
last
now
week.
it's just pissing in the wind. Whereas if
You
you
forgot.
had inspired that respect through,
Well,
you know, actual respect and
better
knowledge
keep this
and
watch then.
relationship and love and all that, then when all of a sudden, when your little brother has
Thanks,
special
Sean.
superpowers and can throw
This is so
a gigantic
cool.
rock at you, he's not going to want to because you brought him
keep it
up to
forever and
respect the relationship, not fear the relationship.
Absolutely. And it looks like Sean fucked up a little bit, but he took his opportunities to make up for it. So his brother does
Yes.
respect him, I think,
Yeah.
in present day.
And I think this really does go a long way to show the coolness of their relationship. That at the end of the day, you know, look, you're going to fight and all that nonsense, but at the end of the day, they have these moments where they're just sitting down on the bed and talking about it, you know, and it is very cool. Like again, this show, we've talked about it many times, or this game is very good at creating believable characters and character moments, and this, I think, is definitely one of those.
I like the role the dad played in it too, right? Like
Right.
without guidance, Sean's not going to know the repercussions of his actions.
Right.
He's going to keep giving his brother noogies and all that shit. But thanks to his dad, you know, he's like, he knows like, oh fuck, like look, this is important. Here's the guidance. Like this is why treating your brother is what it is. Right. And one of the reasons I chose to play the character like Sean going, okay, I see your point, I'm sorry, you know, I'll change, is because the way his dad addressed him like an adult. Like he came in and he said, hey man, let me be honest with you, man, I need fucking help. This is tough.
Right.
You know. And I found like for
We're
myself that
partners in
resonates.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like treating me like a kid and just bossing me around and going, you should do this because that's the way it is not as effective as like empowering me.
Man,
Yep. Definitely.
Beaver
There's a
Creek
lot.
feels so far away.
So he was dreaming this whole thing then? I'm guessing. Daniel's inventory. Why am I in Daniel's inventory? Because he's just looking at his. Look at all this shit. He's got Hot Dog Man comics. This
I know.
my mustard is fantastic.
I think it's not clear if it's just a transitional thing, you know, that he was maybe thinking about that moment, so they showed us the entire moment, or was it like a full-on, did he dream that whole thing? You know, it seems like it could be either one, you know, it could just be, hey, here's an interstitial as we load you up into the show to kind of show you back where they were and where they are, or is it like, yeah, while he was sleeping in the tent, he had this, you know, this memory.
All right, so we're back in this the journal thing right here, real quick.
Tent looks like a piece of shit, by the way.
Yeah, they're not living. I mean, this is Walking Dead type of a situation. So there's a lot here in the journal telling the story, right? They're cold and hungry. They're on their way to Puerto Lobos. The snow is gone, so December, all the way into December now, 2016. California, here we come.
And remember, it started back in October, right? Right around Halloween, they were taking out the decorations, right?
Right.
So
they're in Northern California
long-ass
now,
3 months.
and
Yep.
you can see they're like basically living homeless. I met a weird guy who said we could go working on a local farm, even though they don't have IDs. I know why, but no choice. All right. So they're getting work on a local farm. People on the farm don't ask questions. Good thing I can go to work again. Weird being without Daniel 24/7. Aw. So he's been getting paid. He's getting some money here.
Specifically, I like how they go out of their way for him not to say it's been nice not having to deal with Daniel 24/7. Like the growing adult of him is that he's like, it's actually weird. Like I've gotten so used to it that it is not a good thing to not be around him all the time. Maybe not also a bad thing, but it's just weird. Like they've kind of gotten used to this over the last 3 months. It's interesting to see him maturing as as we've seen him grow from "he's such a little shit, Dad, I hate him" to where he is now.
So the job apparently he hated the most, according to this journal, was fucking twirling the sign. He's like, "Fuck this."
Yeah. That does sound like a fucking nightmare job.
First, and then people are turning up missing too. Apparently, let's not forget that, in case that has anything to do with the story. Oh, Dan got kicked off the ranch, and the motherfucker only paid him half. What the fuck? He told me to call the police or get lost. Damn, yeah, you knew that kind of shit was gonna happen. So they hitchhiked to Arcata. Oh shit! Yeah. So they're gonna make it to Arcata Bay now, and this is probably where these stories are gonna cross. That's interesting. Let's see. Bumped into the hipster punks from the Christmas market. What? How are those kids still around? Oh, that's just another Christmas market. Okay, not the one he went to. Wait, right. It is. It's Cassidy.
No, it is. Yeah.
So how the fuck are they bump into them if they're all the way like they jumped on a train and headed all the way into California? And where were the grandparents? Like somewhere in Wisconsin or Oregon?
I thought they were. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oregon. But they did say they were traveling. Remember, they asked them to come with them at first, and they ended up not going with them.
So who's Finn, the green philosopher? He's the leader of the group. He's also the sweetest guy I've ever met. Tough and everything about trimming and shit. Oh, with the trimming for weed. Okay. Hannah and Penny. Okay, I'm just trying to make sure we don't miss anything for background here.
Yep.
So Penny has a theory for everything. Paranoid who?
I love this.
So I think he's making money by hanging with these hipsters and trimming weed. So he's trimming the plants so that they can sell it.
Yeah.
They got new workers from Europa, Anders and Ingrid. Okay. And then Jacob, he's a little kid. He lives in religious commune. Meryl's the owner. Big Joe is the what? The gun? The goon. 23rd February. Had a few beers. Daniel's asleep, same night every night. He wants to train more, but we don't have time to get high. Yeah, so he can't fucking develop his powers. Oh shit, there was some more thing to check out, but let's move on for now.
He doesn't talk about it, but...
Oh, that's from the grandparents.
I know Daniel really misses Chris.
Go Daniel's watch.
I do like how they've also
he doesn't care about
subtly been improving his drawing over time, like as he's been practicing more. Like if you go back to the beginning stuff that he was drawing, even when they showed like 3 months ago the pictures he drew, and like
I told him not to.
He's like, I fucking suck at perspective, and now he's like fucking really good at creating these kind of pictures that have perspective. So it's just these little minor things that they like put effort into showing the development of what's happened to these characters over the time. Over the last, what is now 5 months, I guess, they're in February, right?
Yeah, February. Yeah. He's got 1,000, almost 1,500 saved up. That's not bad.
We used to have big rooms. Now all our stuff fits in a bag.
Alright, Sean's inventory. And what is this? Oh, okay, that's what. What's this? Daniel drew Super Sean.
Yeah.
Alright. A razor.
Yep. I'm a real man. Kind of.
I'm a real man now. What was the whole thing with Daniel's watch again? I didn't really... I missed a little bit of it.
Still can't believe we ran into
that was just... It was this watch that he had wanted him to get forever, and then he got it for him, and he wanted it, and then Daniel had it, or Sean had it, so he took it from him, And that's what he was like, I'm sorry I took your watch. And he was just like, I just always thought it was so cool and I thought you were going to get me one you never did or something like that. And he's like, you know what, fine. If you like it, like it's yours, you keep it. And he was like, oh my God, that's awesome, thank you. I'll wear it forever. Like you're the best. And now, you know, he's like, it's already
sleep?
like, you know, is off to the side. He's not wearing it or whatever.
Yeah, I did. Thanks.
Nice.
Just walk around with her tits out.
I better hit the shower before they use all the water.
Right. See you around.
Humboldt County, California, 2 months after Beaver Creek. Okay.
Hey, Sean. Breakfast time.
So you did explain a little bit more there, right? Since I'm a little bit behind on you, but explain a little bit more about basically saying it's like it's crazy that they bump back into those guys again. But yeah, so they go out of their way.
Jeez.
To at least be like, it's
just way messier than
kind of crazy. It's not, you know.
It's hard to believe.
It would be stupid if they were just like, oh, cool, we bumped into them again and now we're friends. Well, that doesn't make sense.
I do love these trees.
I don't think I've seen a redwood in real life. That looks awesome,
Really?
though. Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Where?
Did you see all that fog earlier?
Washington, I want to say.
Oh, okay, I haven't been there.
For work? Yeah,
Yeah.
for work. I was there for Washington,
for some
and part of the
heavy
thing, we took a trip
barrel
out
lifting
and saw some, and it was,
Like
it's
that
kind
movie.
of, it's definitely humbling.
The sun has
You're like,
saved
wow.
us.
You
Coffee
know,
time,
if you want to talk
Sean.
about that moment of,
Grab something
you know,
to
when
sit
you
your
first
ass
learn
down.
about space and you look up and you realize how small and insignificant we are,
I
like
heard
that's the
nothing,
version of it,
honey.
but like on Earth, where you're like, wow, this is insane.
Maybe it was the coffee brewer. Never mind. You
And not to
hear?
mention that they've been there
Only
forever.
me.
I don't understand. Why?
How you miss all those insects? How the fuck? The swarm is coming.
What the fuck? Oh, look at the squirrel. The animals are really cool.
Yeah,
You mean bugs? I haven't seen any
it's not a
flying
bad
bugs.
little setup they have here, right?
Not
Yeah,
really.
it's dirty as fuck, though. These motherfuckers are dirty.
Sean,
I mean, they,
Narc,
but I think
Snuff Tones, all that
I
shit.
think they've also kind of
Wake up, boy.
implied that they're
Look
like,
up.
you know,
You
not as much just hipsters
Saw
as
them?
like straight up like old school
Right.
hippies, where they're like,
how?
Because
I don't
vision,
think they're
Sean.
like, oh my god, I hate that we're so
watching us
dirty.
now.
They're like, yeah, this is the way life should be.
Shit,
They
for
seem
me,
to be
I used
loving
to
it.
lose
They're
a
like
job.
doing their thing,
The
chilling
cash
out.
is good for us to
Like
travel.
you said, walking around with no shirts on and shit. Be like, all right, seems to be your vibe that you're
So-
going for.
Then where's your next pit stop?
We want to see all the cowboys in Austin. But we spent too much money so far. Traveling is expensive.
Depends how you travel. I mean, look at us. Kush did. Not when they legalized that shit.
Then you can work legal on the farm, right?
Not if the government steps in. Then the pigs.
Yeah, the government's definitely going to step in.
All bad.
It's legal in Washington, and
I love that you
It's
were
worked
like,
out
oh,
okay.
bugs, they're the worst.
it's
Like,
gonna
no,
be legal
dummy.
everywhere. Soon, anyway.
Legal but controlled. By who? The bitches who made it against the law. Yay, freedom.
I don't know. Things have to change.
I was kind of half listening to him, so I was like, I'm thinking the dude might be crazy. So
Did
Right.
anybody see Daniel? I haven't seen him this morning.
I saw him walking with Finn. They were headed to the lake.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Yeah, I'm gonna shut up for a little bit and let you just
Better see what he's up to.
Tell them no
pay
sweat.
attention.
Oh.
to these
That
conversations.
lake is toxic, man. Nasty.
All right, let's see here. Sorry, I made the coffee.
I keep thinking you're Dutch.
Take some, give some.
Because we...
It's only
Where
fair.
from again?
Yeah, I just had some
Sweden,
coffee.
Malmö.
I'll
You
make
wouldn't
some
hear
more
about it.
just to be fucking polite.
Welcome to Cafe Diaz.
A long
I think
fucking
that's
way
like
to
they
get
have that
farm.
rule.
Special morning brew.
Nice.
Oh, do your fucking part.
I like that gourmet shit.
Yeah. Been working for 3 years in a coffee shop to pay for the trip.
Hope that shit was worth it.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
They just wanted that person to walk by again and
Okay,
make
sooner.
no
No
shirt
more.
on.
I feel like
Water's kind of rare around here. Everything goes into the
Gotta ride
plantations.
with us, right? You saw the real shit.
True. I will miss you too, Penny.
Most of them are into fancy hippie food. And fast food junk. Man, I would have killed for something like this back in that freezing house in Oregon. Weird we didn't see any bears.
Oh shit, I'm on mute.
With all that trash lying around.
Damn, that's weird. That is weird. No bears showed up. What I was wanted to ask you real fast is,
what's the date today?
Did you get a generator after the hurricane came? Like, do you have a backup generator for your house?
You mean
What's
like
up, Jake?
Hey,
for
Sean.
real? Do I have one?
Yeah, like a real backup generator. Yeah.
Oh no! Yeah. I thought you were like asking something about the game. I'm like, oh
This
shit!
is a
I don't
birthday
remember
card for my
that.
little sister.
A backup generator.
Don't laugh.
No, I do not. Why? Do you?
Aw.
I wanna
cute.
get one.
How old is she?
She's 9 years old now.
We all should have learned our lesson after the hurricane.
Like Daniel.
The last
Yeah.
hurricane that came over all those years ago, everybody was out of power.
Yes.
Probably
Well,
miss her the most.
so for us, I mean, we are
Kind of jealous.
all
you
of
get to hang
our
out with
stuff
your
is
brother all the time.
underground. So the only way
But
we would
I bet it's hard
the only
to
way
miss
we would
brother and
lose
father
is if
figure.
there's like an actual like damage at the main plant.
That's my job now. Full-time.
So we have
Daniel
less.
Wrangler.
Like we lost
He's
power
really
for
lucky to have you.
during the
Hey,
hurricane.
since
We
you're
lost
such a
power
big
for like
bro,
literally
What's a good way
5
to end this
seconds.
letter?
It was like whoop, it like went down and came right back on.
Sounds
We had like the whole family staying with us because everyone else lost power because
Oh wow.
regular power lines. If you have power lines in above ground, then you're screwed. They
What
go
is she
down all the
into?
time. Anytime there's
Like anime
you know,
or
a
video
storm,
games.
but for us, we actually have
uh,
never really lost power
puppies?
because of that. So
She has a pet
it's,
chicken.
although
named
it's still you never know.
Alexander.
Like when the big one
Sarah
comes,
loves
we're all
that thing,
screwed.
but it creeps me out.
Why not draw a creepy portrait of Alexander?
You're lucky,
Good
man.
idea.
That's awesome.
It'll match
Yeah,
my
we did get lucky with that.
chicken scratch perfectly. Anyway, thanks for your help, Sean. I gotta finish this before I get ready for work. Don't want to be late or Big Joe will eat me for lunch.
You and me both. See you later, Jake.
Big Joe sounds like an asshole.
Sean, thanks again, man.
Look at these water tanks. Just want to see what kind of setup they're rocking with.
Gotta stock up the shower and kitchen later tonight.
That's pretty
Wish
cool.
it rained more.
Collected the water like that. And
Nice
so-
to get fresh food.
Oh, how they collect. They have a good filtration system, which is again cool that they did their like actual research to figure to make it
Yeah.
look
These guys have top gear.
to make it be more realistic.
Wish I did.
Yeah, I'm living like a shitty shanty fucking setup over there.
Yeah.
Who's Hannah, the one with the tits?
Anna's so private about her life.
You just want to keep saying that.
Plus, she probably hates my guts.
The one with the
What with the tits? What the tits?
On the back
Penny,
of
the
the
one with the
t-shirt?
tits. Yeah, Life of the Man Cave.
Not quite sure who Penny is. He's so out there.
Oh, they do have pretty dope gear. Wow, that's like a legit tent.
All right, let
Funny
me
how
go
I like
find.
being out in the forest
Let me
now.
go find Daniel here.
I actually
wait.
feel
Who the fuck is Finn?
it's a mystery how Finn can be so messy and strong at the same time.
I'm not inspecting his tent, man. Fuck that. Feels like he's gonna get into a fucking. He won't like that if he catches me.
That girl is even more of a sleepyhead than I am.
Here. Let's see here. What does this cardboard sign say?
Gotta have backup signs.
We'll eat for food. That's funny.
That's pretty good. So far, at first exposure to
headed
these
to the
guys, anybody
I should
do you
go
like the
check
character?
it out.
They do a decent job.
Yeah,
Living
I think they're all
on
likable so
Virgin
far.
Yeah.
That
We
would be the
shower
worst fucking part is everybody shitting
or
in that
twice
sink
a week.
bucket or whatever. That's fucking
Yeah,
gross.
yeah.
Just more time to
Yuck.
chill.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're out in the woods. Like, why wouldn't you just go dig a hole?
Like yeah, and also have like, well, I guess so they can. So you're not just digging a hole and burying it, and then like you're able to take a shit by your, or use the somewhat by your camp, but
Oh, yeah.
We
then
went
you can
swimming there a
fucking
couple of
you know
times.
Dump it
Dump it
somewhere
some-
out. Yeah,
uh-huh.
when you're
Fucking
done.
cold.
So you don't have to go wander
Good
out
fucking
into the
nuts.
middle of the woods in the middle of the night. It must smell Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, these guys, this setup is pretty fucking...
Although they probably smell terrible. So they don't even notice it.
Yeah.
I would assume.
Probably get used
Because
to it.
everything must smell so bad that you just get, it's like living next to a dump. You're just like, gotta get used to it or your fucking face will melt off.
What the fuck, man?
Yes! I fucking rule!
All things considered, like, they put a lot of work, though, into building, like, an actual little tiny community.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Holy shit! That was dope!
It's good storytelling, man. It's like, you know, good character building and all that stuff. And
Bullseye.
I think you said they upgraded graphics and you could see the difference here.
Hey,
Yeah.
we didn't want to wake your sleepy ass up.
The
Thank you for
the
that.
cool thing too is I'd actually heard from some people, like especially like in California,
never
like there
seen
are a lot of this
anyone
kind of shit where
throw
like
like
people are
that.
out in the woods like growing fucking weed or whatever because you know, especially nowadays because it doesn't rain ever there, so for the most part you're not really worried about rain or
I got
snow.
better.
You just
You can't
it's
throw a
just the
baseball
elements,
without
right? It's just the
hitting you in
regular
the nuts.
weather, like
How'd
the
you learn
you know
to
like
aim
the
so
cold
good?
and
Not
whatever.
true.
So
Liar.
a lot of people actually
You're the one
do
who sucks at
live out
baseball.
there like this. If
Yeah.
you're like that kind of person who's
Right.
like a you know, a
Hey,
prepper, that kind of
wow.
shit, you can like go off the
What's
grid
up
and live
with
out
you
there
two?
pretty.
I should have
pretty
let
well.
you know, but I'm
I
watching
mean,
him
well
with
for
a
them,
hawk.
not for me.
Yeah.
Awful.
Seriously, much respect. He's like my own blood.
I feel like this kid wants. He got pissed.
And not that
Daniel
I'm
got
hot or cool as his big bro.
hot or what the fuck.
Yo, Sean, idea.
So it
I
looked
wanna
like
see if Daniel inherited the family blade.
oh shit, like
skills
Daniel really gives a
from
shit about what this kid thinks. Because the second
How
he was
about a
like, "Yo,
little
you can't
demo?
throw a baseball without
my
hitting me in the
turn.
nuts."
Come
Right.
on, let's give the man a chance.
Yeah, it feels like
Okay.
there's a little jealousy going
Yeah.
on. Like this kid really likes
I'll take
this
a shot.
this guy is Finn, is his name or whatever.
Yeah, Finn.
Okay, how the fuck do I do this though?
And obviously, Sean's pissed that he's like, okay, really? Like, did you get that good, or you know? I have a reason to believe that I know how you're able to hit 6 bullseyes in a row, and I told you not to fucking do that shit. So that's why, you know, he came in a little bit like, come on, dude, really?
Sean, hold your right arm. More like this.
I fucked up.
Better line. Better aim.
Won't really help.
It's not that easy.
What's wrong with
It's fucking...
Man, what the fuck? He's like, it feels like the little kid is like, "Hey, I want to impress this guy. Why the fuck are you here? This is my new big brother."
Yeah.
Ah.
Oh, sweetie, one more time. I know you can do it.
Shut up, Finn. Like, come on now, dude.
He's in.
Calm down.
This shit's all over the fucking place,
That's
man.
the secret.
Yeah.
Alright. I wonder if they're doing this shit on purpose. God damn it.
Oh, fuck
Right.
that.
Ah, this little asshole.
I rule.
Sorry, Sean. You're not a ninja. But you're still cool. Just ask your brother for help next time.
Yeah. What would I do without him?
Hey, don't look at me. It's not my fault if you can't throw. Woo!
After that workout, I need some
And-
more fucking Java.
Real quick for anyone who jumped in is checking us out. If
all
there's
good,
anything, you know,
Daniel.
feel
We
free
can
if
practice
you've
later.
played
It's
or
cool.
no. Fuck that.
brother.
If you've played it
Love you,
or
man.
not, you know, obviously we'd love to hear if you played. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And you know, if you haven't played it, feel free to
Daniel,
jump in
I
with
can't
your,
believe you
you know, with what you
What?
think about what's happening right
What do you
now,
mean?
Come on.
or your thoughts on these types of
Don't
games in
play
general.
dumb.
We like to hear. I mean, obviously
Showing
these
off
are
in front of Finn.
people tend to either really like them or they
want him
don't.
to find out?
There's
Finn
not a
is
whole
cool.
lot of in
You wanna
between, I
tell
think,
anybody.
for like these
You
kind of
don't
Telltale
know
and
that.
Life is Strange and that kind of thing.
You're gonna get busted, and
So I'd be interested to hear what
You need
anyone
to
who's
listen to
checking
me.
out in the
Stop
chat what you
calling
think
me
about
that.
these types of games.
I'm not a kid anymore.
Daniel, don't.
Why?
Fucking Finn.
See?
Stop, Daniel. Now.
Or what?
I said stop.
Oh
Daniel,
man, seeing it. So we talked about like inspiring respect, and it looks like Sean's been trying to inspire that kind of
I'm
respect,
sorry.
but you know, sometimes kids are still gonna act out. They can be like, "Yo, it's cool. I got fucking power now." Like,
It's fine.
you know. So maybe let me see how this shit. Let me see what happens if.
You're
Right. Well, and we all know too, right? The whole
but you
like
don't have
kids.
control.
You can teach a kid everything you want until
Yeah,
other kids
but
get into the mix,
training
right? And then the
something
moment they get involved, oh shit.
Rather,
Um,
now,
the moment they get involved, you have to be worried about what the fuck, what they're teaching them, what they're saying to them, and whatever. So Finn's like that, right? Finn's the like, hey, I taught you everything I could, but now Finn steps in and he kind of is like the cool new version of me that like wants you to be cool and be, do the thing that makes you awesome, not the thing that makes you good, right? And that's confusing for a little kid because every kid goes through that. Like at some point, you just have to hope that you taught them enough so that when they go out, they don't, forget everything you taught them just so that they can impress their friends or whatever.
Find Mom. Since we have her letter now.
Well,
yeah, it seems like Finn is genuine.
Yes, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I said it seems like Finn is pretty genuine.
We already
had
this conversation.
Yeah, and I think that's what kind of makes the scene cool too, right? Is that he's not just like a jerk or a dickhead, right? That shows up and he's like, "Come on, be a badass and hang with me," right? Like some of the worst things people hated about, like, I think it was season 2 of Stranger Things was when all of a sudden like Elle met those other kids that were like had their hair slicked back and wore leather jackets, and all of a sudden she did that, and we're like, "Ew, stop!" Like that doesn't. It's dumb. Like people don't like the hard flip like that. Finn is a better character because he's not the hard flip. He's not the opposite. He's more just like he's just Sean without Sean's knowledge of how dangerous Daniel can be, right? So he is like he's inspiring him also to like be cool and try to like do your thing and be you and like don't let people talk down to you or whatever. Except he doesn't know a very critical thing that is like, oh, but if we take that to the logical extreme, this kid could kill somebody. So that's almost more dangerous because he's not bad. He's not trying to get him to do bad things. So he's kind of similar to Sean. And you could see why Daniel could easily be kind of swayed by somebody like that.
What? Oh. No. I put this on instead. Finn gave it to me. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, so now Finn's thing that he gave you is more cool?
Hey, Daniel.
Right.
Remember what I said.
And the whole, the kids going like, don't call me a nano anymore.
Okay.
Right.
We're cool.
I don't like working on a farm.
I know. It could be way worse.
Okay, so they're both thinking of it.
Okay.
It looked like he was, like Daniel was about to walk off without him, and they were about to part. Like, what? Is Daniel going to work while fucking Sean stays back?
Maybe just check on him.
We will, Daniel. When we're safe.
Who are they going to check on? I'm sorry, I just missed who he said.
I'm behind a little bit, so I gotta.
I had fun playing hide and seek.
He just said we will, Daniel. We'll check on him.
Did you say Big Joe?
No, not check on him.
You weren't scared at all?
I gotta check on Big Joe. Maybe Grandpa?
With Finn, we had the best hiding spot.
I'm behind. I think I'm not live for some reason now. Because I'm a little bit even farther back than that.
No way, because I'm looking on my Twitch. It's like only 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, I just saw him say we gotta go check on him. I just saw that now.
The wonderful ways of Twitch and the internet.
Yep.
It's really cool, man. Like walking with these big redwood trees just laying there like that.
I know, right? It's pretty amazing.
So they got the kid working too? This is interesting.
I don't think they're that picky.
I need a bodyguard like you.
Right.
Tell Sean to give me a knife.
I mean, the fact that a redwood laying on its side is like a fucking straight up bridge.
Yeah.
Is pretty impressive when you just start like looking at nature, in general.
Sure.
That's your girl, Sean.
Why so serious?
Nothing.
I just realized, does Finn have Finn tattooed on his knuckles?
Really?
I'm always worried about my
I think I saw it's like F-I-N on his...
This isn't a fucking school bus. We're late.
Oh yeah, Big Joe sounds like he gets kind of happy when he has to bust somebody's head in.
Yes.
He enjoys his job.
Yes. She's pretty cool. I like her. They did a very good job with her of making Cassie seem like, we've talked about before. Like you got to get, if you're going to have a main character and there is going to be some type of a connection. better when you're like, okay, yeah, I could see that. And like watching them together, you're like, I could see that. Like I could see why she's like cool and kind of freeing to him, and she's like, she doesn't seem under any of this stress that he constantly feels like he's under, so she's such a good counterpoint to like everything he's going through. So I could see why he'd be drawn to that, personality and the way that she kind of lives her life. They did a good job at creating that part of it. Obviously we'll get into more of it, but
yes, I am.
early on. And purple hair is cool.
Yeah, it is. Don't forget. What's up, Gerd?
What's going on, man?
Don't forget to post also, Craig, before we forget, your beer and the website.
Oh, my beer. Okay.
Yeah. Brother watching.
Here we go.
So,
all right.
how do you feel? Who knew this little tree market snowflake would end up here?
Tree market snowflake.
Oh, good. Just hope I won't turn into a dirty hippie if I hang around too long.
I gotta give her some shit back.
I'm the most contagious.
Too late. Guess I'll take a chance.
Hey, how about shut the fuck up back there?
Really?
Can't hear my music.
Asshole.
Guess what? He was on his secret sat phone again this morning. Speaking Romanian and shit.
You had me up until you said sparkling water, by the way. The rest of that sounded pretty cool.
It does sound delicious, right?
Yeah.
Gerd, yours sounds great. Share with us, what is it?
What's that?
Told you 1,000 times.
It's a
Big
lovely
Joe
barley
is a
wine.
California.
Oh, yeah.
They come from the factory in Silicon Valley.
Big Joe really is kind of a dickhead, and he kind of reminds me of the guy from
he's just the
This Is
factory
Us.
reject.
Okay. Just don't be so mean.
He's got the bald head and the big beard, and he
Are
seems
you
kind of like a big
crushing on
dude.
Big Joe,
Kind of
sir?
maybe a little overweight, but he uses his weight well.
So
Sean loves Big
It seems like an
Joe.
asshole.
Sean loves Big Joe.
Shit, you're all in love with Big Joe. You can't stop talking about him, I swear.
What the fuck is she talking
Big.
Right on.
Come on.
The hell?
Yep. He's kind of a mystery.
Hey, pipe down back there. Enjoy the scenery for a change, for fuck's sake.
So I was, to be honest, I was listening more to what you were saying, and I picked "Don't Be So Mean" to the guy because I wasn't sure who they were talking about. If I knew it was Big Joe they were talking about,
Yeah.
I would have said "fuck that guy" more.
Right. I know, yeah. I saw as you chose it, because we got quiet after you chose it on your end, but before I saw it. So I was like, ah, poor Jess.
I stuck up for Big Joe.
He did. Actually, now that I'm looking at him again, Big Joe kind of looks like, if you've ever played Max Payne 3, when Max Payne gets bald and grows out his beard. I mean, they made him look scary as shit. Look at that. Wow, what a credit. I mean, like,
Is that an AK?
45 minutes into it to get to the
You fucking smacked her?
credit sequence. And just by the way, I was going to throw out, we might have to at the next opportunity take a little break for a bit
Me, Cheech?
with this episode, and maybe we can jump back onto the next one. Not immediately, but next time you feel like there's a nice spot where we can cut it, we might need to. Ooh, damn! He did just smack the shit out of her back of the head.
You're gonna get us kicked out of here.
Well,
just because she said I'm tired.
What?
He just fucking put his hands on her?
I can take care of myself.
All right, so of course,
Sean.
all right, so you did the
that
choice
guy would have beat you down.
that I also did.
Yeah. If I called him Cheech. Fucking now I really wish I would have said some mean shit about him. Fuck him.
I know.
He's a real dickhead.
Yeah. Fucking asshole. Ah, he's.
So I'm sorry, did you say we're taking a break after the next the
Look,
next
when
save
there's
point?
the next moment where things can where it feels like a nice stop. We'll take a break for this, and then we could hop back on and maybe get some done later on. But
cool.
Just need to take a break for a
I'm
little
not
bit.
your way, right?
No.
It was good too.
No,
I think this is like a
sorry.
nice.
We
got through the whole
don't
kind
get
of
paid to be
establishing
late.
of the character development so far, and now we get to see where they fucking live, which looks crazy.
Listen
or
up.
work, I mean.
I need 2 teams today. Finn, Penny, Anders, and what's your name will clean up the mess from the storm. The rest of you
Has to
get
be
to
like
sit
a
and
fucking
trim.
shit show of a job, I have to assume.
Yeah.
Like I want to go pick up a bunch of shit all over the camp.
Hey, you want to trade
That guy's
places?
supposed to be like fucking. What's his name?
Yeah. I get to
Gus
go
Fring.
outside.
Hey.
Oh, I don't like this
You
thing
guys
that's gonna
still
get
don't get
separated.
it. This is work, not a goddamn summer camp. You're not special. There are dozens of hippies like yourselves begging for work in the next town. Kid,
This fucking
you
work
got
morale
to
is
keep
terrible.
Shut your mouth.
Fucking Daniel, you dumbass.
Finn,
why did
you
do
better
that?
watch your guys.
Of course, boss. No problem.
He must fucking hate Daniel sometimes.
Okay,
Like,
so
he's like,
move
you're
it.
just making life
You heard
harder.
the man. Stop
why are
fucking
you doing
around
dumb
and
shit
get
like
in your
that?
teams, all right?
I get why he's like, I need to get outside. I want to be away from my dad. I mean, my dad brother for a little bit, but
Dad brother.
yeah.
You're gonna talk.
Uh-oh.
Remember, I'm only letting you and your brother work here because Finn put in a good word.
I know. We really appreciate it.
This guy does remind me a lot of
Yeah,
Gus.
yeah, no ass kissing, please.
Of Gus
watch
Fring?
out.
Yeah.
Next time your brother fucks up, you're both gone.
Like
ASAP.
since I have the sound out, because since I'm just
I'm
doing
not
it,
trying to
listening
bust
through here,
your balls.
it's like in my head
This
when I
is a
read his
pop
lines.
song.
I
He's a
Yeah,
imagine
yeah,
he's
this is
talking
his
about,
character is like that, yeah.
You and me are gonna talk.
hear
I'm
me?
like, yeah, I can see he's just that fucking like he's very straightforward, but super like nerve-wracking and scary.
Got it. I'll keep him out of the way.
You better. This business has enough shit already.
Right. I'm gonna go check on him then.
How old is he anyway?
Oh,
It's just
9.
makes a point.
He's 9 years old.
He's like he's a fucking kid, and like I'm kind of only letting him here just
Gotta
because
keep a close
of you,
eye on him.
not for him. And I can go pick up 2 more people that could do the job better
Not
than
my business,
you and
but-
him.
You got kids?
Yeah, a daughter. 12 years old.
Do you get to see her?
Not often, but she needs the money I get out here. Okay, I'm not your buddy. Get the fuck out of here. You got a lot
This little
of work
conversation
to
he's
do.
having with this dude is like giving this guy a moment to
Thank
be
you.
like, it's fucked up. It's like, you know, he's part of this machine too. So it seems like he's driving the machine, but nah, he's only got power over them. He answers to
Right.
other people, and he's got to bring home money to his family. And
Right.
but you would think that he could be nicer and
Hey.
empathize.
You okay?
Yeah, but he also does run a
Now for the fun
Yeah.
part. I need this
so
all
at
done
the
by
end of the day, he
tonight.
probably didn't get to where
No
he is
excuses.
by being like, "Hey
So,
kids, let's
get
gather around
on
and talk
it.
about how bullies can be scary." Like I'm sure.
All right, we good?
Yeah, but I mean, you could just show more respect. Like you don't have to be fucking mean for no reason.
Finish on time.
I hope so.
Yes, but I would assume in
I gotta
his
make some
position,
calls.
he's like, if I
Well,
don't
what are you waiting for?
Yeah.
have a lingering amount of
know
fear,
the
like these
drill.
kids could be trying to steal from me. They could try to, who knows what the fuck could happen the moment you like ease off the pedal a little bit.
Yeah, true.
So you kind of need to have them
Feel
be
I'm in
like
prison.
fucking scared. And then that way, hopefully the whole thing would be that you keep them scared, but you don't have to actually do anything to them.
Kick this out because you're a
You
big
know,
mouth.
like that would be really where you'd be like, okay, this guy's a dick.
What
Like he's
part
actually
of
like
Halo
beating
don't
on
you
the
get?
kids or having this guy
Right.
fucking take them out in the woods
Sure.
and shoot him and shit if they
I bet
fuck
you
up.
wish I wasn't
But
here.
like,
Oh, stop.
I can tell.
I
know
kind of
exactly
can see,
what
like in his line of work, he doesn't
Oh, I
have a
feel
whole
you.
lot of leeway to be
Sometimes
like,
I get stir crazy in here
let me be
too.
cool with the kids.
I know you guys are having the time.
Because
of
it's
your
also,
life
it's not
here,
like he has a whole
but
bunch
I'm
of like
not.
7-year-olds working.
Shut
You
your
know, where it's
mouth.
like whatever, they're
Give me
dumb,
some
and I can
quiet,
just
for fuck's
I can be nice to them
okay?
to get them
Well, why
to
do
do
you
shit.
stick
He has
around
like,
None of your damn
17,
business.
18-year-old kids who are like could
But I'd be
easily
long
be
gone
fucking
if I
taking
had a
advantage of him if
Trust me.
they thought they could get away with it.
All right, man. Just pick a bud.
As I continue to try to fucking support the pot farm guy.
Oh shit. Okay, I'm fucking this up. Gotcha.
Shut the fuck up.
It's a little trim party. This goes with what Luwimbe was telling us about with the trim party. Good to see it.
Trim party.
Man, look at all these buds.
Oh, this is nothing. Last spring we were
See,
trimming
he's a
about
dick
2 or
for no
3
reason.
pounds a day.
Whoa.
Like
That's a lot.
his whole thing about just being like,
I work
I'm not
overnight
even
all
gonna
the
let you
time.
guys speak is
15
that's
hours
dumb.
straight once.
It is.
Trying to forget.
It's like the other guy
I was
wasn't
done
being
with
like,
fish after
everyone shut the fuck up. He's just like, hey, follow the
Oh.
fucking rules or get the fuck
We
out
are
of here,
lucky.
right? Like
Right, and then your
that
arms
dude is
fall
more
off.
just being like,
Fuck
I
all
am
that.
literally torturing you by making you sit here for 10 hours or whatever.
Complete
however long they
silence.
are.
It's just because I want to be a
complete
dick.
silence. Just because I want to be a dickhead so I can like read my fucking cell phone. It's like, come on now, dude.
This is mildly difficult.
Yes. They
You get
strangely
any
made the
reception?
pot
Bingo?
trimming
This
one
place
of the
is
more
a cell killer.
like fucking difficult things to do in the game.
I should clean my scissors. They're a mess.
I don't know if it's just happening to me or if it's happening to anyone else, but right now it just started freezing up.
No?
It's like hitching a little bit. Yeah, it'll hitch, it'll freeze, and then all of a sudden, then it'll like jump right back up to live again. So I'm like, hopefully not missing anything.
It's just me trimming shit, and I'm having
Yeah.
conversations.
Yeah. I'm not
That's a
worried
lot.
too much about this part.
Ouch. Shit.
Ooh. You okay, sweetie?
If I could cut yourself with scissors, you little Oh, shit.
Look, Daniel, you just zoned out. We all do it. Then we don't.
I don't know if I fucked up the trimming when I was looking at what to tell him, like, slow down or whatever. So I didn't pick anything.
Now you're getting it.
My ass hurts. Fuck, this is really boring. Oh, poor baby. That's the job.
Maybe if you were allowed to talk a
Just
little
think,
more,
just work.
it wouldn't be that
Okay.
boring.
Just
I know.
don't ask me to smile for the camera all day.
But it's not like
long.
they live together at the commune, right? And
Feels like working in a factory.
it's not like they have a bunch of like, so what did you do today? We
Right.
fucking cleaned out the showers.
Sean agrees with me.
Right.
As always.
This is fun at
There's
first,
literally
but
nothing
it
that they
does
could-
start to get old after a while.
They
How
all go
about
through the
stop
exact same
bitching so
shit,
much?
and it's all super fucking
Sean,
boring.
you're already on Meryl's shit list. Don't get us all kicked out of here. Just
Look, you
Whoops.
cut yourself too.
Damn. Better follow my own advice.
This goes on surprisingly long.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking.
But
Oh
for
shit! I
real,
fucked that up.
though, if you could snap your fingers
Wow,
and
that's
go
getting all fucking
anywhere.
weird.
Cassidy, we get it. Over and over. You don't want to be here.
Give me a break. I can't.
I love
So
how
what?
he keeps saying shut the fuck
I'm
up.
allowed to dream
in
that
Cassidy's
way.
like, no,
You
but
won't
for real,
get
I
hurt.
still want to just talk
Promise.
about dumb shit. Like,
What about
if you can go anywhere else,
Louisiana?
where would you go?
Must be so sweet this time of year.
This guy's gonna get pissed.
Okay, man. Calm down.
Ah, I'd love to visit New Orleans.
Yep. Check out the voodoo shops and the blues band.
That would be cool.
No.
Bitch, bitch, bitch. Nobody's making you babies work
All
here.
the money these guys make on
You guys are all the same.
selling weed
Cool,
and
let's be
like they
trimmigrants.
can't. There's
Then
not
you
like a
barely
fucking
work for a
automated
month.
process to just dump this shit in
is
and
my
have it
life.
Come here for a sec.
trim these automatically.
He's gonna fucking beat this dude up in the next room, I think.
Damn. Can you folks put a lid on it? We got shit to do here. Whoa, whoa. Down.
Like you can't fucking
Easy
talk
for you
and
to say,
trim. Shut
cowgirl.
the fuck up.
Some of us have
Yeah,
to
I
work.
know.
So
Please.
show us your tits
I
again.
bust
Shut
my
up.
ass like everybody else. Uh-huh.
Knew you
Don't
won't say
even.
it.
You're always looking for an excuse.
Ooh, it's for
That's for you after this scene, if that's cool with you.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Ow,
Once you
my
get through
arm
the
hurts.
fucking
Wow,
annoying
wow.
trim party.
Get off my
That
track.
really is going on.
Holy
I
shit!
do
This is
not
yeah,
remember
like
it being this
2 months?
long, and it's
I didn't
really.
come
Going
back
too
from
fast.
California.
I guess they really want us to understand that
Water.
fucking trimming
What, you
weed
gonna
is
squat
a
out here forever?
fucking terrible
Build a
job,
house?
and don't
What?
do it.
Stop! You know we voted
I
to
don't
stay
even
for
like
a
the
while.
electronic version
Once
of
it's
it.
legal, we ain't got no more job here.
How's it going? Same as always. Don't
What
worry
the fuck is the
about
pin?
tomorrow.
What's this?
How are we supposed to
Gerd.
I'm just over this
Interesting.
place.
My wife thinks Gal Gadot is the hottest female. Discuss.
She's really hot. She's like
she is
super fucking hot.
Especially hot as Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I think Gerd's wife is correct.
Yeah.
NYC Law School? And whose name is on that? I can't even read that. NYC Law School, whatever.
Fuck off.
It just says NYC Law School alumni.
Alumni, okay.
You're on the bus. We're off the bus.
I don't have better eyes than you. I just have the ability to expand the screen using because I'm on my iPad.
Everybody chill. Let's not get...
Sean, step back. This is our business.
Everybody
Grow up,
chill.
Cassidy. Stop acting like a princess. Thanks, Mom. Anything
Yeah,
else?
it's gonna go bad. Y'all need to shut the
Why
fuck
would
up.
you being an asshole?
Did you fall out of the wrong side of the tent or what?
Like, you know where you are. Like, stop. Fucking Big Joe literally needs 0.0 reasons to beat the shit out of you guys.
Yeah.
So, like, you probably shouldn't start getting all, like, shut up like that and, like, you know, causing an issue that's going to make him
Hey, I
think,
don't wanna
I need to
fight.
come in there. Up, here he
It's been
comes.
a long, crappy week.
Just keep it fucking down in here, okay?
How about no, Big Joe? Just kidding. Man, I'm having a bad time on my job. You guys aren't allowed to talk.
Yeah.
Basically talk until I find you too annoying.
Right. And then I might shoot you with my gun that I carry around.
Yeah.
Oh, we finally made it to a... Now it's at least just a long cinematic of them continuing to go.
Yeah, without me having a R2L2, R2L2, R2L2.
Yeah.
Just... Big wolf, little wolf.
Hey, Gerd, my wife thought that was the most boring part of the game. Discuss. All right. What do you think about it at this break here?
So that's still a cinematic run. So that
right, that's what I mean. After this,
soon,
once
yeah.
This breaks,
Next,
we'll find a thing we can.
So next little save joint that turns into a actual like non-cinematic scene. Does that sound good?
Trust me.
That sounds good
It's
to
not
me.
as bad as
and
you
I like
think.
to, by the way,
Other farms in the area
they
is
do a really
just
good job
straight down
of the
exploit your
like
ass.
sunlight in this game.
You got to be careful with those scissors.
Like
Yeah.
through the trees and everything, which is like always beautiful to me in general.
you'll
Like I
get
just love
scars,
God rays and all that
you'll
shit,
get
like
it.
kind of coming through, and they do a good
Hard to
job of like
find.
how they kind of
Ain't
shine
sexy.
through onto the scene of them, and then when they pan out and they do those kind of those wider angles where you're like,
Later,
oh, wow,
Big
this
Joe.
looks like a place I want
Smile,
to visit,
asshole.
just not live there like they do.
So, did you have a good day at work, honey?
Ooh,
I did.
Finn's gonna get.
Love the Jerry Springer moment when Hannah and Cass started
Should be
picking on
that.
each other.
Yeah. They love to start shit with each other. Then get high. Short-term memory loss.
Let's see here. Meryl. Who the fuck is Meryl again? I forget. I was gonna ask
How was
Miles.
your day? Did you have fun outside?
Nope. Picked up branches and shit. Got covered in mud. Would not
I think
recommend.
Meryl's the guy with the like flat top.
Still sounds
but I'm
better
not
than
sure.
sitting on your ass all day.
I think that's my
feel
memory.
You, Sean. As always. That's why you're such a good fit for the family.
You totally hooked us up. A job, cash, friends, safety.
Sean. Everybody's cool with you two. Daniel is your secret weapon.
I don't know. He's way too young for this bullshit.
You gotta be zen about this. The more you try and control him,
Nice.
He's kind of
the
true.
less you
He's kind of
have.
right about that. The more you try to control Daniel, the
Swear.
more he'll
He
push
acts
away.
just like me.
Yep.
That's how I know he's smart. He's also got a kick-ass hermano. Yeah, my brothers are like that.
This guy really likes.
So,
I mean,
what's
I
your
don't know.
story? I mean, you don't have to tell me, but
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. My parents were okay. I had 3 big brothers who spoiled me,
aw, you were the baby boy.
like Daniel. But my family was kind of messed up. My dad was like a front for hot cars, yeah. He'd steal, strip, and sell them. My brothers and I helped him. You know, typical shit. Till we got busted. Fucking feds wanted me and my brothers to testify. But
against their dad? Shit.
Narked on us instead.
Oh, shit.
Damn thing.
That's fucked up.
What?
You'll see in a Finn telling his family stories.
Oh, man.
Fuck everybody.
What a douchebag.
So I hit the road, Jack. And anyway, I found a cooler family.
That seems like a bad case.
Traveling.
Like, how did the feds not
Checking
be
out
like,
new things.
oh, really? It makes more sense that it's the 15-year-old son that's the super criminal and not the shitty dad.
Right.
You know? Like, come on. That seems like they fucking did a very bad job.
All right, so it's saved right after that conversation, and I think that's a good place to break. So thanks for hanging in there. So maybe later today? Maybe later tonight?
Yes, definitely possible. I will definitely hit you up. But I appreciate it. This is a good, so real quick, just think of thoughts on how it started so far. Are you interested to see what's happening next?
Absolutely, yeah. This is cool. Like the storytelling in this is awesome, man. And what I really like is sometimes like when you break stuff up into episodes, like to me it's important that it's not just like you just arbitrarily chose to cut. If you're the creator of this art, right? You didn't just choose to cut each episode at a certain part. Like each one is its own self-contained story.
Absolutely.
So this one is really cool, this leg of the journey. So while we joke about don't be a psycho and start watching, like, you know, if you're watching us on YouTube now, like if you're not watching us live, because watching us live is another story, but if you're going and watching this on YouTube, you know, we joke about don't start with episode 3, go back to episode 1, and it's true. I mean, you're going to enjoy the greater story more, but if you did just watch episode 3, you'd be like, oh, this is its own story, this is cool, I can relate to these characters and everything like that.
Right. Yeah, they're able to create good bubble episodes where each one tells its own, you know, it's like almost like an anthology. It's obviously part of this larger thing, and there's relation to that larger thing, but they are also very good at saying, hey, at this part of the journey is episode 3, and then boom, we wrap that up, and when that's over, then we go to, you know, part 4, and that's its own part of the journey that is separate. And so far, considering we've just met these guys and really kind of like started to really dig into who they are, they already did a pretty good job of making you feel like, yeah, I could see why they get along. I could see why Daniel and Sean like them. Like they seem like they have that kind of family vibe, which is cool. Like that's not always easy to do in a story, or especially in a video game. So
I agree.
That's cool, man. Awesome, dude.
All right. Thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you soon on part B of Life is Strange 2 episode 3, which is our current Ready Player 2 series. This is live from the Man Cave. Again, for all things live from the Man Cave, check us out on our website, livemancave.com. It's in the chat, but also it's all one word, livemancave.com. And then you can get our Discord chat link from there, join in there and have conversations with great fan cavers like Gerd. And we talk about beer, we talk about movies, pop culture, all kinds of shit in there. And thanks everybody for joining us. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Gerd. Thanks for the comments. And we'll see y'all next time.
And we'll see you guys soon.
See ya.